Well, I've been recording bands since I was 13 for money. I got a 4-track, if we want to go that far back. But
Yeah, let's go all the way back.
Okay. Yeah, I did get a 4-track when I was a kid, and I was like the first kid who knew how to work it. And there really wasn't really bands per se, but we'd have like some kind of like, it was a bit of an independent music thing happening, like some type of new wave branch off in the early 80s. And like there was a couple kids who like had some synth sounds and some rock punk bands and hardcore bands and like so I recorded a bunch of that when I was like in high school, and then I eventually ended up working at a studio. When I met the guys in CKY, I had already been signed to a major label, dropped by a major label. I was in a band called Rudy and Blitz. We signed with Rough House Records. Rough House did the Fugees. Rough House did Cypress Hill. Rough House did a bunch of rap stuff. Then they did my drummer's band, band called Dandelion. And Dandelion was a really cool band in the late 90s. And my band, Rudy and Blitz, got a deal basically through knowing them. And then somehow our deal fell through, and I ended up with like... my whole life was planned. I was about 26 at that point, or 23 when I had that. And then it fell through, and I didn't know what was happening after that. And I went out to California to try to like shop the record that I had been dropped from. I had no record deal, and I lost my band, and all I had was this record that I made.
Did you own it?
I did own it.
Yours?
Yeah. And that was the only thing I got out of that. We worked for about a year and a half on this record, and we really had it. That band at that time, the sound of that band definitely was a good one. I don't think we would have had a problem doing okay if we had a record put out. So we were pretty good. I went to California. I didn't know what I was doing there, and I had no idea. I went to Hollywood, and I ended up getting a job at a place called Jerry's Deli, delivering food in this real hip part of LA where a lot of record producers and industry was. And
whereabouts we talking?
In Studio City,
Yep.
in Ventura, on Ventura Boulevard. Ventura Boulevard. That's a little Tom Petty. So Steven Adler used to call in, and I'd answer the phone. He'd order his chicken matzo ball soup from there. There's a place called Jerry's Deli, and incidentally, Andy Kaufman used to be a busboy there.
Wow.
Really cool shit. But so I didn't know anything about LA. It was before cell phones. I was looking at this giant thing called a Thomas Guide for a map to try to deliver things, and all and I had CDs with me of my band. It was a really off way to think I was going to make it, okay? Alone, no band, CDs. The only person after working at this restaurant and barely getting anyone their food that I was able to deliver my CD to happened to be Tom Arnold, the ex-husband of Roseanne.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
A comedian, yeah?
Yeah, a comedian. So I don't know if he thought my CD was funny, but he sure as hell didn't have the ability to help me in the industry. So after, basically, I was living in my van with 4 animals at that time and delivering. I didn't get a deal in time, and I ran out of money in 3 months, and I went back. A few months later, then I started working at this studio, a 2-inch analog studio, producing, recording, engineering. I did some demos. Jess and our previous singer, Darren, heard a demo that I did for a band called Surge, and they wanted to record where that record was done. They wanted to do it at that studio, and I happened to be the engineer. So that was after losing a ton of shit. And then when they came in, they had some good ideas, and then they had a lot of time to do it, and they really wanted to do it right. So they came in with a project called Oil and another project called Foreign Objects, and there were 2 different types of things. Foreign Objects was kind of more of a technical math kind of instrumental metal type of thing, and then Oil was what they would have called their sellout project. And to me, it sounded more like a Bush or something. And I happen to like the Foreign Object stuff more than I like the Oil, and I was like, you know what? And they're like, we want to do two records. And I was like, well, why don't we make 1 record and make both of these things one and make Oil way cooler? And if you want to sell out with Oil, why don't we sell out with Foreign Objects and Oil? And then we put all of my shit from Rudy and Blitz together, and all the harmony and uh, you know, tonal stuff, and tried to develop an identity for the band and gave it a big thick sound until those riffs sounded right. They spent the right amount of time on them. And we didn't really. We were just local guys. No deals or anything, and definitely cared about making very original music. If it sounded like anyone at the time, we were like, it has to go. We don't like if it sounded like our favorite artist.